What's going on? Money Morning Live. It's always fun hanging out with 8Baller. Hope you guys enjoyed that show. But we're flipping the script. We're doing it different. We're bringing in Tom Gentile with Power Profit Trades. And we're doing it in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey everybody, welcome to Power Profit Trades. I'm Tom Gentile. How you doing today? I'm looking around in the room right now and jumping on that live broadcast as you're here. We're here a couple of different ways. So today we're here via YouTube on the YouTube channel. And then also we're here, of course, with all of you on Monday Morning Live. So glad to see all of you out here right now. How was your Easter weekend? How was your Easter weekend, J-Rod, Brad, Class, Ruby, Eric? What'd you guys do this weekend? Eric, what'd you do this weekend?
It was family. We had the whole Passover thing on Saturday because the wife celebrates Passover. We had the Easter thing on Sunday, which was family, kids, and craziness, Tom. They're young. They're nuts. How about you and your older children?
Well, I'm sandwiched in between kids and in-laws. So it was good. I went swimming.
Oh, nice.
Everyone got so loud, I jumped in my shorts and jumped in the pool.
Hear nothing underwater.
Good, man. I'm telling you, nice. Once you get under that water, everything just goes to a nice little murmur and fantastic. But what a great weekend down here in Florida. I hope all of you had a great Easter weekend as well. So, man, we got a lot to cover today. Where do I start? I got to start with a market check, all right? So I'm going to do an overall market check. I'm going to talk about a new algo that we have created, and I'm going to let you know what's happening later this week if you don't already know. I've got a premiere on Thursday. We're going to go into cryptocurrencies. I want to look at a crypto check. Again, I went through the weekend thinking, wow, absolutely nothing is really happening in crypto except it's still continuing to struggle, sliding down, and we're hanging out just below that $40,000 mark. But something did happen. All right, we're going to talk about it here, and then I'm going to pick it up in more detail at 1 o'clock. Chat, gonna check with your questions and my answers, and of course, I've got a pick for you today before we all convene in about an hour. So, again, welcome, guys. Microcurrency Monday, lots going on. My Thursday premiere event. I have a ton of stuff happening this week, but let's go ahead and get started first with the market update. All right, so I want to get to cryptocurrency charts, but before I do, let's go ahead and get to some news items first, Eric. Some of the news items. In fact, before you even get into the stuff we want to talk about with Shanghai, let's stop there for a moment. I want to hit, when I go and Google news today, this is the stuff that's coming up right now, guys, at least in my neck of the woods. And, what you see and what I see might be vastly different. And that would have a couple of things to do. It would be on where you live, your location, and your interests, etc. But here's what I see. Russia invades Ukraine. Live updates. Well, we've known that for, 6 weeks now at least. NBC says they've got suspects sought after 2 killings in mass shooting at Pittsburgh Airbnb house. All right, Alex Jones. I've seen that guy on InfoWars. Files for bankruptcy. Florida rejects 41% of new math textbooks, citing critical race theory. And that's Ron DeSantis, I'm sure, in the front of that. Evergreen Container Ship. Evergreen. There's a stock that I haven't seen or traded in a while. Freed after a month of ground in Chesapeake Bay. And Border Patrol stops 23 people in terrorist database at southern border in 2021. That's the top 6 that show up on my screen. But these, look at all of them. They have absolutely nothing to do with what we're going to talk about today, because what we're going to talk about today is what's happening that's affecting you and I. So let's take a broad look at the markets. Let's talk about Shanghai first. Eric, you ever been to Shanghai?
I have not. I'd like to, though. Have you?
I have. I have. Let me tell you, I went to China a couple of years ago, and I was speaking at a Forex convention, if you could believe that. And I was talking about algorithms, and I was talking about patterns and pattern recognition, because that's what I do. And so they brought me in to teach on these subjects. It's interesting. When I got there, I got in a cab, and I left Shanghai to get to Pudong and the financial district. And as I'm going down there, the walls up on the highway are so high you can't see anything except the highway. It's either because they're trying to keep the sound of the highway out, or they're trying to keep you from seeing what's on the other side of the highway. I think it might be a bit of both. Anyway, get down there. I go to the ring, which is down there in the financial district. Really beautiful, beautiful place. Again, this was 4 or 5 years ago. Now, what does it look like? That ring is completely empty. All right, the Apple Store, it's not even open. So Shanghai is in a lockdown right now. Major ripple effect happening on global supply chain. In fact, one of the news items I heard coming out of China was that Apple was having trouble getting their hardware on target, especially for MacBook Pros. And a lot of it had to do with the supply chain. I think what you're going to start seeing, we're already seeing it with a lot of small pieces, but you're going to start seeing these bigger companies that you're going to start seeing more made in America happening, which is part of the reason why we're seeing the higher price. We're going to see the higher price bumps. So, Eric, I know you got a little piece on Shanghai.
I do. Yeah.
Let's see it.
Shanghai is still under a lockdown, which is having a major ripple effect on global supply chains. Officials are targeting Wednesday for the turning point and here in the outbreak. So,
yeah. So what does that actually mean? Does that mean they're going to stop locking down on Wednesday?
I don't know. It didn't sound good to me, but maybe it is good.
Hey, listen, there's another piece of the little news story I heard this morning too. So the first person in China died from the most recent COVID. So they've had one person die. I don't know how they do that. Either these guys are smarter than we believe, or maybe the numbers we're hearing aren't the right ones. What do you think?
I think the numbers are probably not right. Not saying that they're not smart, but one person, I mean, that's great. It's the newer variant. It's not as deadly, but still.
Right. I mean, still, come on.
We're not dummies here.
There's numbers in China that they've never seen before in terms of outbreak. Yeah. So that's one area that's having an effect on the markets. All right. So if we look at another area, let's talk about Tesla, and let's talk about Twitter. Let's talk about Musk. And, those of you that were tuned in last week, obviously Musk had bought 9%, just over 9% of the company. Then he decided to not join the board. Further, was talking about he offered a bid. What was the bid for? It was $51.40. Is it $51.40 or $54.20? It was $54.20, wasn't it?
I don't know what it was. As I read through our documents, it's not there.
Well, what we were talking about around the circle last night, as we were all breaking bread, is that he took the term 54.20, the 420, which is the marijuana number. It's 420, and he threw that out there. So now, I'm not sure. I think he probably calculated this thing really well, and it had nothing to do with 420, the number 420, which, by the way, is this Wednesday. So you'll be seeing. I'm checking around saying how many workers in certain businesses are going to be calling in sick on Wednesday the 20th because they're going to be celebrating 420. Who knows? Anyway, moving forward. So Elon Musk puts together a potential bid for a hostile takeover, which was immediately rejected by one of the Saudi princes that owns quite a big stake himself. And now Twitter's board has opted for a new poison pill provision. Basically, they're going to block the hostile takeover by Elon Musk. So you got the headline for that one, Eric?
I sure do. Twitter board adopts a poison pill after Musk's $43 billion bid to buy the company.
Yeah, and the shareholders asked for a temporary restraining order to stop Musk from commenting publicly about their litigation. So they think no news is good news. And if he keeps talking, it's just going to cause problems for them. I know you have some more information, some more details on that, Eric. Could you share that with
I
the
do.
group?
It's reading rainbow time right now, man. Let's get into it. The shareholders' attorneys said in a filing out Friday that Judge Edward M. Chen, who is presiding in this matter, had concluded that Musk acted with I don't know this word, Tom. Sentier, whatever it is. In other words, which is because I don't know that word, that he knowingly made false statements about having funding secured that when he tweeted. So maybe he didn't have the funds after all. This information was revealed in a request the shareholders' lawyers made for a temporary restraining order against Musk to stop him from making further public remarks about aspects of the case, as he did during a widely viewed appearance at the TED 2022 conference on April 14th. Things are getting dirty.
Yeah. Like Nelly says, getting hot in here. And so anyway, let me mention this for a moment. If Musk says that he has funding secured, more than likely he's going to be borrowing against the stock, because the amount of money that he has in stock and in net worth he's easily able to come up with the funding to buy Twitter. I think, what is it? 10 or 20%? No, not even that. I would say maybe 10, possibly 20% of at the most what he would need, and he could easily do that borrowing from his own stock. So anyway, there's that piece of news. We got inflation. That was released last week, a little quieter on the economic front. I saw something else on my headlines that said that we now see recession worries drop a little bit, that the risk of recession is down in the last few days, right? We got some housing data that's going to be coming up in the next few days. I got to tell you right now, I kind of know what the housing data looks like here in Florida. It's still, well, first of all, I'm a couple cities, New York, I believe, Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, Chicago for sure, are finally seeing a little bit of pushback on their real estate prices. Florida, not so much, as Miami wants to become the new financial capital of the country, let alone the world. And of course, you've got cities like Tampa, even Sarasota, that are having the biggest year-over-year increases in home prices that they have seen for quite some time. So there's that. We also have earnings season we're in. You know what? Let's get into all the charts. And I want to focus on stocks, bonds, currencies, commodities. I want to talk about a couple of the financial stocks as well. So let's go ahead and get rolling on that right now. And so you can see here, this is the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is just swinging back and forth once again. We're down, as of right this second, down about 83 points. As you can see here, we are up, but that's changed. This is actually flip-flopped over just in the last few minutes. So let me go and see if I can get some latest results here and see if that pulled down a little bit. Not quite yet, but here, just recently, we've seen a pull down. I'm not really worried about what's going on today. What I've been looking at is what's been happening pretty much this year. And this year, we've seen lower highs and lower lows. Now, we've seen a bottom happen. And that bottom came in somewhere just below 325, and it really hung tight at around 326, 327. Now, we put a high in a couple weeks ago, but now we're pulling back once again. Is this an area that's going to hold? Last week, I was talking about this double line support level. So far, so good. So far, it looks like it wants to hold. All right, let's go ahead and move over and take a look at the next item, the S&P. SPY, same situation. Lower highs, lower lows, bottom that occurred at the end of February and was tested in mid-March. 417 looks like the area of support. Then we've got some support that's happening right here just above 430. And of course, we ran up. We've got some resistance, double line resistance above 460. So again, a pullback. Is this pullback likely to hold? We will see. All right, moving to the Qs. Again, the Qs have put in. Now, we had several days where we moved sideways. The Qs open lower. They're trying to push off that low. Right now, I see them down almost a half a percentage point. So when you look at all the three, the Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ, Dow and the S&P are down a quarter percentage point. The NASDAQ is down about a half a percentage point. Not really much different, I can tell you here, compared to the other two indices. So let's take a look at TLT. Oh, look at TLT. Just wants to continue to move lower. We are down on fresh lows, trading just around the 120 level. We actually hit the 120 level earlier this morning. We're just above that 120 level. That area is an area of support. And we get below 120, and we're looking at par for the course based on where we've been. We were at 155 a few months ago. And again, we're talking about one of the most stable areas to be at. The reason it's going down, interest rates are going up. You know what else is going up? Implied volatility. The IV chart is up significantly from where it was at the end of the year. UUP, same thing. Dollar's getting stronger. Dollar is getting stronger. Eric, you know, I got an Airbnb over in New Zealand. I've actually put our New Zealand property on Airbnb. I might have to start taking US dollars for that thing.
Yeah, maybe not a bad idea.
Man, every time I look at like a currency share, it's going in the wrong direction. You know, if I look at like the New Zealand dollar, Australian dollar, it's going down as we see US dollar going higher. Might have to curb that sucker. So
USD.
What's going up besides the US dollar? Going to show you two such animals right now, and you should all know them in this room. All right, YouTube, you got to know this, and definitely Money Morning Live, you got to know this. Let's start with USO. USO putting in new highs again today, trading above 80. All right, we have not been above 80 since, well, you got to go back to about mid-March when we were above 80, right in this congested area before we drop down. Well, we're doing it once again above 80. You know 85 is my target. I have a so one of the things I put on a couple months ago was I put on a bullish position on crude oil based on this demand cycle that we see that happens from February to July, right? Now, where are we right now? Okay, so we've gone through February, we've gone through March, we've gone through, we're halfway through April. So really from mid-February, we are halfway through the pattern right now, okay? A little less than halfway through that pattern. And this thing's actually moving faster than I thought it was going to, because I do think that 85 area is what I like on USO. I don't want it to get there too fast, but at the same time, I want to see us trading at 85. I'd love to see us trading around 85 or somewhere in that area by mid-July. We'll see what ends up happening, but it's looking good so far. Here's the other one. Talked about it last week. Are you ready? In fact, I even showed you how to put a stop order on it, showed you how to put a limit order on it, showed you how to get in, how to get out, and the symbol is GLD. Let's see what's going on with gold. So gold 2 has made some fresh highs, hit 186 this morning before pulling back. It's at 185.12 right now. We've got that high for the year that's pegged up in the low 190s. We're going to call it 193 is the high. We get above 195, and we're hitting all-time highs for gold and GLD. So that's what we're seeing with this precious metal. Last week, I told you that this was looking really good at the 183.33 mark, and it certainly is and continues to do so. So that train, I'm on that train. And where it stops, nobody knows. And as it keeps going higher, that's going to be good for me and anyone who's long GLD in one capacity or another. So that's gold. Now let's talk about the two stocks. You know, we're in earnings season right now. We got a couple of stocks that released earnings, and that was Bank of America, Charles Schwab. Let's take a look at the two of those right now. So let's take a look at BAC first. Oh, the VIX. Not much to say about the VIX, but here it is. We're still stuck in the box. We're still stuck in the box that we've been in now for a month. VIX is not closed above 26 and is not closed below 24 yet in the last month, so in a tight range. Now let's take a look at BAC, and you can see Bank of America open low is moving higher as we speak, trading around $38.79. I think for the long term, Bank of America is a great looking company. great looking trade as well, longer term, almost on the investing side. All right. A short-term trader, other than the fact that we got a bounce today, I don't see anything that gets me excited to be long or short the bank stocks. Now, if interest rates keep raising, keep going up quickly, we could see the banks pull back. But I do think longer term, banks like Bank of America look really good. Second one is Charles Schwab. Now, let's take a look at Schwab. Schwab dropped. All right. So we closed on Friday. If you take a look at the chart, we closed on Friday just below 83. We're trading at $75.85. This is the largest one-day drop that we've seen on Charles Schwab. I mean, you got to go back. You really got to go back the 1st of March, where we opened right around 83 and we dropped down to as low as about 76. But I mean, you're talking 83 as of this morning, or the close on Friday, and we've already dropped way in. In fact, we were down to 72. It's made a little bit of a comeback, right? So what's going on with Charles Schwab right now? Well, here's one of the biggest problems they have. Biggest problem they have is that they are having to cut a lot of their commissions, cut a lot of their fees, trading, their active trading, not as big as it used to be. And the other thing that Schwab's got, I think, is a problem, and this is one that a lot of the news media is missing. They do not have right now, other than futures contracts and ETFs that trade off of futures contracts, any way to trade real cryptocurrency, right? They've talked about it, but it's not in process yet. I think once they get in process, then they could make a run at the Coinbases of the world. So there you go. Big move down. If you think that Schwab's a smart company, these guys have trillions in assets. So if you believe for the long term that Schwab is destined to go back to $100 a share, maybe this starts looking pretty good for you at that point. But I have no tradable entries on Charles Schwab today. Okay. Now, it's interesting because when you look at what's going on with the stock market, the word in this case, and what we're seeing now, is volatility. Volatility is propping up results on these big Wall Street banks, okay? Significant bottom line contribution from their trading desks. And the ones I'm talking about are, let's take a look at Goldman Sachs, who announced earnings last week. They're trying to climb out of the gutter, but it definitely helped them, all right? The fact that these guys have prop trading firms and the fact that part of their bottom lines come from these trading results is what keeps them from dropping into new lows like a Charles Schwab. The other one I wanted to mention was Morgan Stanley. Literally looks like the same thing. If I were to overlay Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley, and let's do that real quick and show you exactly what that would look like. So I'm going to pair this on, and I'm going to type in GS right on top of MS. Now what you're going to see is these have two different price tags, but roughly their lows are the same, their highs are the same. They move literally in the same direction. If anything, Goldman might have had a little bit of a drop lower. Wait, this is the Dow Jones. Morgan Stanley. Not sure why it did that, but here you go. Yeah, same thing. We're seeing a lot of that up and down. We saw them both rise together up into February, drop together into March, rebounded by mid-March, dropped again into April, and then rebounding. They both had earnings come out at the same exact time as well, okay? Now, speaking of profits, those of you who are in Surge Strike, and we're going to talk about this more tomorrow, but those of you in Operation Surge Strike, I want you to keep an eye on your inbox because I got another profitable trade that we need to be getting out of, okay? Halliburton is what I'm talking about. Check your email. You'll see all the deets there on what it is we're looking to do. We have exits both now. We also have one set up around the 3 p.m. time zone. Again, check your inbox. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So that just kind of goes to show you what I've been talking about all year long. If you're a trader and then volatility is your friend, you need to take advantage of this. And you don't need to be a Goldman prop trader to get a piece of the action. You know, guys, I have a full suite of tools. All right. They're designed for traders like you. You know, whether you are, whether you're getting one of our premium publications, if you're a lifetime subscriber to those, then we bonused in a year of our tools for you. okay, that go with that particular publication. So, for instance, if it's Operation Surge Strike and you're a lifetime member, we're giving you Surge Strike tools. We're giving you Brutus. All right. Now, I got something special coming up this week. Thursday. I want you to take notes on this. Write down Thursday, 1 p.m. Put it in your Apple iPhone. Put it in your Android. Set your clock. Set an alarm. Whatever you got to do. All right. Have someone give you a wake-up call if you sleep in till noon. And if you sleep into noon, you're not listening to me live right now. You're catching this on a recording. But 1 p.m., okay? 1 p.m., I'm going to give you a sneak peek at what my team of engineers and I have been working on over the last year. So, if you know me, guys, you know I kind of love the science behind trading. I love the algos. I love the math. We do a lot of, as rules-based traders, we create rules, then we backtest these rules and refine them. So I can create rules. When it comes to backtesting, refining, re-backtesting, etc., then forward testing, that's where I utilize my guys, all right? And I utilize our software. And so, and I'm not talking about just technical analysis. I love technical analysis. In fact, people ask me, what are the most common forms of technical analysis that actually work? And the two that I go to most of the time are volume and volatility. But, you know, we also talk about charts on here. We talk about darknet. We talk about currency waves. And I'm going to talk about darknet in a moment. That's coming up. In fact, I actually have a cryptocurrency, one of many that are flashing buy signals, that have been flashing buy signals this weekend, right? I want to show you one of the bigger names. But think about it. We are truly in the age of machines here on Wall Street. Things that we could not even do, even just a couple of years ago, we can do now. And so I put a lot of money into R&D, okay, research and development. And so research and development doesn't mean I just pay people to research, but it also means getting the latest and greatest tools, adding servers onto what we already have. You know, you guys, who in the room has seen my Terminator intro?
I've seen that one.
Yeah, I used to put that out there. I put that out there for, we did that back in the early days. I did it on Monday Morning Live a couple of times. Who in the room seen this thing? Give me yeah, some of you have. So, you know, I only bring it up because really, you got to really be linked up to something like Skynet right now to get an edge in this market, because that's driven by algorithms, server farms, and it moves fast. And I've been doing this a while. And not just me. I can't do all this myself. I'm not that smart, okay? I have smart people around me. I got a team of engineers, and you guys have heard it. You've heard it before. You probably heard it on some promotions we've done in the past, that my guys have worked for NASA and Raytheon, and they have. I'm not going to tell you something that's not true, right? The combined experience I have with all of my guys stretches out over 100 years. That's what we're talking about. So, you know, these are the same guys that helped develop Brutus. And we know, you know what it does. It helps us find those patterns using software. We also look to exploit stock market volatility. And we're using patterns on price and IV. And, you know, buy and hold investors, we're usually going against them. We're going against that Reddit crowd. We're going against that Robinhood crowd. But my guys in the last year have been working on something else, right? Working on really kind of a version, I'm going to call it a version of trend trading software. And it's a really big advance in trading technology. So, you know, if you think the market's moving too fast for you, or if you think that reading the charts in real time just isn't clicking for you, because I couldn't read the charts in real time. I mean, if you're looking at 1 minute bars or 5 minute bars, all they used to do for me is get me more excited than I need to be. All right. I'm an exciting guy. I try to tone that down because at the end of the day, I trade like a robot. All right. I do what the computer tells me to do. Now, I do put a lot into the research, but when I get a signal, I move on it. I don't think about it. And so, if you're finding that the charts move too fast, you find maybe you're struggling to focus, maybe you can't find the right methodology, maybe you're, maybe you are finding that you can't spend the kind of time in front of your computer that you want to. Well, you're going to love what I got set up for you on Thursday. So I've got back-tested results. Eric, put a couple of those up on the screen. I got back-tested results to go back over the last year to show you this is the real deal. All right?
Yeah.
Check this out.
Let me take everyone through these. We got back-tested results from your team, of course. 517% in 2 days, 857% in 4 days, 1,792% in 3 days, Tom, and even 2,574% in 1 day.
Yep. Most of this calls and puts, not a lot of spreads, and the thing is that software we're using for this particular artificial intelligence is very smart. It actually simplified the stock market. So if you want to tap directly into the latest breakthrough that I've got going on, all right, not only me, but my brilliant team, then you have to sign up to get on the list. We're not doing this live for everybody. This is an invitation-only list. We sent out invitations to a lot of folks late last week and over the weekend. If you did not get an invitation, let me know right now. Let me know if you need the link, because I'm going to give everybody in here the link. All right? I'm going to do it again tomorrow, and I'm going to do it again on Wednesday too. But if you want the link right now, I don't know. I think the room might be capped, but in any regards, Eric, do you see anybody in there that did not get the link for this?
We have some people that say they need the link. Yes, we do.
All right. So can we get them the link?
I will work on getting the link. And I always say,
what? Yeah? Just go up there to the top over my head.
Look at that
nice mane of brown hair that I have. You'll see the yellow piece at the top says reserve your first access pass here, because you will see it before anybody else.
I got it in the chat right now as well for everyone.
Awesome. There it is. Eric just popped it in 12:03 p.m. right there. Click on that. And then also there's a pop-up that came up on the screen that allows you to go in and reserve your access as well. All right. So you don't want to miss this, guys. I'm not releasing it live. Like I said, you got to sign up and get on the list if you want to see what it is that I've been cooking up over the last year with my team. So it's the only way to get that advanced notice. Links in the announcements right now. And I really can't wait to share this with you. But I have agreed with the folks at Money Map Press that I would not do it until Thursday at 1 p.m. So we're going to do it Thursday at 1 p.m. So all right, so it is just after 12 o'clock, and that means it's time to get into a strategy session. So it is Microcurrency Monday, and I thought what I would do is, I'm looking at microcurrencies right now. I'm looking at what's going on with Bitcoin and Ethereum, and that they've dropped down here in the last week, and really even in the last month. As I look along here, I'm looking at a one-day chart on Ethereum. We're talking about something that was at 3,500 just a few weeks ago, and now we're down into the 29s. But before we get to that, let's talk about some winners. Let's start this strategy session off on a positive note. So let's first talk about Kyber. So, Eric, throw the information up on Kyber and walk through Kyber with everybody.
Sounds great. So we 150% Kyber profits from Tom's team. Overnight, one of our longer term positions on Kyber Network hits its profit target of 150%. Back in June of 2021, we entered KNC at the $1.77 mark. The trade has been well worth the wait, with KNC now trading above $4.44. Now, many of you trading on the Binance US should have been out of that coin months ago, as the coin easily hit our profit objective shortly after opening our position. However, for those of you trading on Coinbase, we still have 2 open positions on that coin. We're taking the opportunity to exit out of both, and here is what you do. Your action to take is to sell your KNC, opened on June 21st, for no less than 150% profit, and sell the rest of your KNC at the market.
Yep. Profit. And we also took a 50% profit last week on SNX. So if you're not out of SNX, we are off to the sidelines for that. Open positions, we've got profits on Zcash, Brain Trust, Ethereum. We still have a small profit on Ethereum too. So even though it looks like we're kind of below that 40,000 level on Bitcoin, and I'm going to put it on the screen right now, there's still pockets of opportunity that are cropping up. And I saw a lot of potentials happening here literally over the weekend. So take a look at Bitcoin. So here's Bitcoin. I'm going to share this with everyone real quick. I'm going to share a couple of opportunities with you. So here's Bitcoin. You can see that, here's that 37,000 level area we were looking at. And we had that pop to 45, 46, back down to 37, pop to 44, 45, back down to around 37, 38. Then we had the run that took us to 48,000. Really looked like it was going to hold there. Of course, it did not. And what was it? 2 weeks ago, we had a pretty big drop over the course of the week, where we opened at 46 during the week and we closed down in the 39 area. Since then, we've been kind of trading back and forth and still trading above 39,000. So that's all well and good, but I'm a little nervous about this stab right here. All right. If this stab becomes something more than just a stab in the dark, which is what it took this morning, then I would be looking at that 38,000 level. But there is a glimmer of bullishness that's happening with BTC. I'm going to share with you what that is in just a few minutes. Let's take a look at where we are in terms of the latest move higher. So we had that latest move from 37.07 to 47.445. The pullbacks. We took out the 38, we took out the 50, we took out the 61%. This right here tells us that we could be pulling all the way back to that 38,000 area. If I were looking at this alone, Eric, and this and only this, I would be a little bit, maybe I would be trying to wait to see if I could get a better buying opportunity. But let me show you something else. This is something that not everybody sees. So instead of crypto, I'm going to go to our darknet signals. And I want to share with you, here was the last signal we got. And a lot of you on this program remember, just around 41,000, we had that buy signal. Well, that thing turned to a sell here at 46. But guess what? You get the buy signal again just 3 days ago, right down here around the 39,000, looks like about 39,500 level. So we're just below that level right now. This is very interesting. This is our darknet, and our darknet design is we look at long, intermediate, and short-term channels. And if we have in this case, the long-term channel is sideways. We've got intermediate, short-term channels, and we got some stuff that's all popping together right in this area, giving us some very interesting support levels and a buying opportunity. That's what we see for BTC. Let's look at one more. Let's look at Ethereum. And I'll do the others on our watch list with everybody at 1 o'clock. But for Bitcoin and Ethereum, they look like this. Now, where's Ethereum look like? Where does it look like on the chart? It's coming down, and it hit the 61.8% retracement. So from the lows of 24.96 to the highs of 35.22, the pullback has hit the 61.8% retracement. Again, here is what Ethereum looks like on darknet, because it too had a buy signal at the 50% retracement level, and yet we're bouncing off the 61, a little bit better price that we've got there. So both Bitcoin and Ethereum hit our darknet, and this is a proprietary piece of tech that we use to give us these buying opportunities. Last time we actually had a sell over here around 29.50 from a buy that was below that. And so we have not had a buy signal on Ethereum this year. We've not had a buy signal, maybe earlier this year, but we haven't had a buy signal in several months now. So this is looking pretty interesting as we see that. So those are the major charts that I'm looking at. Those are the key levels that I'm looking at. And these are just some of what we're seeing that's popping up on a bullish chart with everything moving south right now. Is it, if I didn't have this technology, then I would be nervous like a lot of folks trying to figure out where is this going. This long-term technology that we're using in cryptocurrency has a really high rate of success. So when I look at this, it gives me a little more confidence that I'm buying at the right levels. Now, Eric, let's see what we got going on as far as questions.
Oh, great idea. I love that. I love the question segment. And for everyone that's here in the chat right now, if you have any questions you want me to take a look at live, just pop them in. We'll do the same on YouTube and we'll get to them. But the first one here, Tom, is from a new member. Been following you for a while in crypto. Second time in chat. How do I get a name in there instead of a number? This is about updating their username. You know what we could do?
I think you know how to do that, right, Eric?
We'll pop a link in the chat right now, which will take you to how you can change your name. I did not preview that question before we got it in, but how about this one?
That's okay.
How about this one? We got this one from Tony in Texas. Does option liquidity vary based on the broker?
Well, the answer is going to be no. What varies based on the broker may be a margin requirement you may have to take a position that either has a lot of downside risk or upside risk, depending on which way you're trading it, or it could be something where the risk, where you're bringing a credit in, and the credit is less than the potential risk. That's where brokers can vary, all right? But when it comes to liquidity, all liquidity is, with maybe one little exception, but I'll talk about it in a second, option liquidity, and we're talking about stock options for a moment, all goes through what's called MBBO. If your broker doesn't use MBBO, then you're paying too much. MBBO is the national best bid offer. So as I'm looking at the Charles Schwab website, let me type in GLD for a moment. I was just talking about this a little earlier. So if I wanted to buy a call option, this, by the way, is not a recommendation. Let's put that out there right now. But as you can see here, this week's 185 calls, the ones that expire on Friday, they're bid 170 and they're offered at 174. That's a tight spread. Okay, that's a tight spread based off the national best bid offer, which means the broker goes out there and it finds the best bid, all right, nationwide, and it finds the best offer nationwide, and it gives you those best trades. And then some brokers might even go as far as to try to, if I put this in as a market order, maybe Schwab might fill it for me at the 171 mark and say, we saved you X amount of dollars. I've had that happen several times. Now, with cryptocurrency, it might be a little bit different because if you're talking about Coinbase versus Binance, all right, you're going to see two different types of spreads. You're going to have the Coinbase spread. You're going to have the Binance spread. Coinbase spread, they have their, they have their book of bids and offers. Binance actually trades the coin off of Bitcoin. So you're going to have two spreads there to get from altcoin to your fiat currency. All right. So that's the best I can give you there. I know Tony is talking about option liquidity, and there are no options on Coinbase. There are no options on Binance, but I believe he's talking about stock options, which is why I talked about and answered this first using this example you see on the screen.
Thanks, Tom. I got another one right here, straight from the chat right now, or a little bit ago. Tom, what do you see in AAVE?
AAVE. I don't look at it. Let's go ahead and we'll take a look at and do a little reading of the tea leaves here. So let's pop over to my crypto charts, and I believe it's AAVE. Yeah, there it is at the top there. All right. And as you can see here, this one does look a lot like Ethereum. So if you see AAVE, you've got a low point in here at 115. You got a high point at 244. You got the pullback, which really kind of stabbed through. It went through the 61% retracement, got above it, did not get back above the 50%. So it's retesting. If you're an aggressive trader, this might make a very interesting entry point here around the 158 mark where it is. But I do not see a trade on this one as of right now.
All right. Thank you, Tom. Right. I appreciate you taking a look. If there's anything you want to grab from YouTube, let me know. In the meantime, Let's take a look at this one from Tessaverse. Could you please go over how to place a trade and close on the same day without getting docked for being a day trader?
Yeah, okay. So Tessiverse, let me just mention this. In order for you to be docked as a day trader, then you would have to do more than 3 trades in a week's time where you open and close the same position during the day. So how to place a trade? If I were to take, for instance, this GLD trade, and let's say I were bullish on it today. So I would be doing what? Buying to open, all right? And I would look at buying to open this 185 call. Maybe I go and say, I like this bid at 170. I put it as a limit order. I preview it. I place that trade. And then by the end of the day, I would do what? I would get this open position and I would reverse it, which means I would, in this case, sell to close. Maybe I set this up ahead of time and I say, all right, you know what? If it goes to 250 by the end of the day, then take me out. If it doesn't, then I need to do something else. I would then cancel that order and go in and do something like an MOC. And MOC stands for market on close. That will get you out of this trade before the close of today. Now, the problem with day trading is that it comes with, if you trade more than 3 times in a week with most brokers, they will target you or they'll tag you as a pattern day trader. A pattern day trader has to have a $25,000 account, all right? Liquidity has to have $25,000 worth of liquidity in your account to be able to do that more than 3 times. So either I got a couple of ideas for you. A, you pony up to 25,000, problem solved. B, you don't do more than 3 trades a week in your account. C, and I didn't say this, but I know people who've opened up more than one account and put a little bit of money in each account so they can do a couple of trades in one account. They call that their Monday account. They call the other account a Tuesday account, a Wednesday account, etc. And they put much less money into each account across the board. That's really about the best I can come up with on that example. So I got one from YouTube.
Let's take it.
If I could move on. I've actually got 2 of them on YouTube. Does TD Ameritrade use the NBBO? And I believe they do, Bruce. But in order to find out exactly if they use NBBO, contact the broker. I imagine they do because they're owned by Charles Schwab. Okay. Ronald says, can I have more than one Coinbase account? I do not believe you can under the same username, Ronald. But you can have more than one wallet in your Coinbase account. And then the third piece that I wanted to mention was from Bruce Young. And Bruce is saying, what is your look now on USO? Last you looked at it was before the run up to 85. And Bruce, if you came in a little bit late, no problem. Glad to have you here. But if you came in a little bit late, I did a little piece on USO. Let's see if I can go back and find that one. And to do that, I need to turn off my pairs, go to my list, and I'll share it with you. I am bullish on this market. I have a position on USO, and I looked at 85 as that target. I still think 85 is going to hit, although it might hit a lot sooner than I think. All right. Why does that bother me? Because I have a spread position on in USO. So I am looking for that spread to, let's say butterfly out. Okay. And the body of my butterfly is at around the 85 level. So I'd love it to be a nice slow burn to the up. And no worries coming in late. Not a problem. You'll get the replay on this whole thing as soon as we're done. Let's see what we got here. I got another one here. I want to just take a look here. Okay. Is there any insight on what moves cryptocurrency? Maria, what's moving cryptocurrency right now are world events, and cryptocurrency is moving like an asset. Now, this is the most volatile asset that of everything that I trade, right? If you go back all the way to 2011, okay, so we had the 11 high, the 14 high, the 17 high, and now the 20, looks like the 21 high, right? All 4 of those highs, or at least 3 of those 4, were marked with 85% drawdown. So you have to come into cryptocurrency believing that you can you can withstand something like that. So just keep that in mind, okay? I see it. Since the flashbang came in, all the markets are upside down. And a lot of them are, but some of them are, some of the things within cryptocurrency have actually hit our profit targets too. So they don't all jump around lock and step with Bitcoin and Ethereum, okay? So just keep that in mind as well. Eric, any final questions that you see over there that we want to go through?
Of course. We just grabbed this one as well. How do you get your AI software, Tom?
Join me on Thursday.
Okay, well, there you go.
Join me on Thursday at 1 o'clock. Oh, I will say this. So we have pieces of this software that are broken down into apps as well. So, for instance, our microcurrency traders, those are the folks that trade cryptocurrency with me. If you have a lifetime subscription, we bonus in a year of our software, and this is our software from tomsoptiontools.com. Right, we bonus in a year as our bonus to you. If you have Operation Surge Strike, we have a bonus of part of our Surge Strike software, or it's called our Brutus software, comes with that. And so we have something coming up on Thursday, which I can't wait to debut. And guess what? We got an app, and we got software for that too. So all of that's kind of happening, and it's coming pretty soon. And I see someone else is popping in here. Eric, you had something, someone couldn't attend the live room broadcasts?
Yeah, we had, I had this question come through. I can't attend live room broadcasts for microcurrency members. Is there a way to catch up on those discussions? I feel like I'm missing a lot. We have replays of everything that we do. All right. So if we're here in the main room, right on top of the screen right now, there's a icon that says replays. You click on that, it'll take you to all of the replays for things from the main room and all of the private rooms as well. So for example, if you're a Surge Strike member, inside of the Surge Strike room, there'll be a playlist of all of the replays that were from that service. So all you do, you'd scroll down underneath your player and you'll be able to see all of the previous sessions that took place for the appropriate services that you guys are signed up for. If you're signed up for all of them, every room that you go to where those are broadcast to, you'll have a little playlist and you'll be able to grab it from there. We record it all. It's part of the job.
It is. It is. So you have all that at your fingertips. So we are getting down to the last few minutes of this show. So let's take a look at a couple of ideas that I shared with you, and I want to consolidate those down to one. So we were first talking about USO, and we see that kind of that move happening. If I were to take USO and I were to bring this down from 100 days, let's look at just the last 30. I want you to see what's going on here. So we're seeing, okay, maybe 50. Maybe 50. That might have been a little too tight there. That's much better. So we're seeing this high up here. USO. I figured that out as soon as I looked at the actual chart. That's what I'm looking for. High at 88. Notice the lows went from 60s to 88 to the high 60s to 82, and then to the 72 area, which we bounced around a lot at the end of March and again just last week. So we're at 72 last week. Look where we are now. All right, we hit 81.08 on USO earlier today. Just because it has a red candle does not mean it's down today. All this means is that the open is above the current price. That's the first piece I wanted to show you. All right, we're looking for breakouts on USO at 82, and then again right here just about, let's call it 85.50. All right, I'm looking for that target to be at 85.50. That's where I'll probably exit my position and move to the sidelines. I'd love to do it later, because I've got a position on which could really grow and get exciting, but it's got to do it slowly. It can't grow like a weed. Weeds grow fast and they die hard. I want something growing that's going to grow slow into that 85. I didn't expect it to happen this fast. That was one idea we discussed, but that's already on its way. Here's another one we discussed, also kind of already on its way, but I'll mention this like I did last week. Last week, we were looking at 183.33 as a break above to get exciting, because that was right here. That was the high that occurred at the end of March, and we busted out of that last week, and here we go. And now we're sitting at 185.65, so we're 2 points above that. I get this question all the time, Eric, and it is it too late to get in? And my answer to you is, it depends. If 185 is your target, then your answer is yes, it's too late to get in. But if your target's 195, if you're looking at this area here and you're thinking, all right, we're getting another bump up, possible to get up here around that 192, 193 area and get above that, get above where all those short sellers may be sitting to push us to 195, then you're not too late, because you're going to see that the call options on these that go out, let's say we look at May, they actually still have a potential double out there for those that are around. Okay, so let's go look at those call options real quick. Option chains on GLD, and I'm going all the way out to May 20th. That's the third Friday in May. If you take a look at third Friday options in May, look at these at the monies. The 186 calls are $3.70. That means if we get to 190, we're already above break even. If you get to 194, this is a double, folks. A double, okay? So that's GLD. Been talking about that one. It's been moving very nicely. Okay, now let's talk about two more possibilities, and the one that I really like. So in the area of USO versus GLD, I still like GLD. All right, I think both of them are destined to move higher. They're commodities. They're moving together, but I believe GLD is going to make that quiet move, and I don't think you're going to hear too many people barking about it until it gets above 195. Then everybody's going to be talking about it, and that might be the time to pull a little off to the sideline. Now, last thing, Bitcoin or Ethereum? I shared two currency charts with you. We've got a chart of, I'm going to put BTC back up here on the screen once again. And both of them have darknet signals. But I want to share with you the Fibonacci charts one more time. Fibonacci chart on Bitcoin, up and down and through the 61% retracement area. All right. How about ETH? Let's take a look at ETH. And you'll see ETH also had the bottom down here at 24.96, the high at 35.22, and look at the pullback coming right into the 61% retracement. Now, both of these could still go lower, all right? There's no guarantee this is going to go higher, but we do have a high probability of wins using our darknet method, and if I were to choose one or the other, the Ethereum trade looks like it is more bullish because it has pulled back less. All right. As far as everything else in the world of crypto, those of you that are microcurrency members, join me at 1 o'clock. I'm going to let you through the velvet rope, and I'm going to talk about our watch list. I'm going to talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and everything else that's on the watch list. And I'm going to show you just how much darknet is happening right now in the world of cryptocurrencies and microcurrencies. Okay. Hey guys, last thing I want to mention, if you have not yet clicked on that link above my head, do so. Eric also put that link in the chat room. That's for our Thursdays, our big premiere on Thursday. Got something brand new. You haven't seen it before. I hope you come join me. Otherwise, I'll see you at 1 o'clock if you're one of our microcurrency members. And if you're not, that's okay. I'll see you again, same time tomorrow, 11:30, as we get into Surge Strike. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. I'll see you soon. Bye now.
And I want to let everybody know that we're about to bring in 8 Baller. He's live right now, I believe, in Warlock's World. You guys are going to get yourselves a half an hour of him spending some time with you guys right now. So we're going to cut to 8 Baller. Hope you guys enjoyed Tom's show, and I hope you guys are signing up for that Thursday event. Have a great day, guys.